Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the Rom-Com anime Monthly Girls Nozaki Kun.
Yes, and in this 12 episode brilliant series based on the manga of the same name, high schooler Chiyo, Sakura finally confesses her feelings to her classmate Nozaki, only for him to mistake her for a fan and puts her on his writing team, putting her to work for his Shojo manga. Hilarity ensues.
Yes! And before we start with that, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification updates on future podcasts and all the pause videos.
Yes, how we got to actually reading and watching this is we had seen it on Netflix for a while, and we weren't sure we were going to watch it. We added to the watch list.
So it's like Toradora.
Right, and we were kind of nervous about it. And then I went and saw the books, and I said, you know what, let's try reading the first one or two manga and see how we like it.
Right.
And reading that first manga, it's like, okay, we gotta go on and watch it now.
Right.
We gotta watch it now. We gotta watch it now. We gotta watch it now.
Yeah. And then we got to the Netflix show, and they keep it incredibly accurate to the manga. It's just as funny whether you read it or watch it. And it's really glad we found it. The only thing you kind of wish is that they had more, because as of recording this, the manga is still going. A lot of people thought it had ended. They just took a break, and the manga's still going.
Chapter 12, volume 12 or 13.
13 is out now. Probably 14 by the time this gets up.
Yes.
And then on top of that, the manga books have gotten thicker. They start a little thin, but they take longer to come out and translate because now they're adding much more pages, so it takes longer for the books to come out.
I think one thing I just really have to point out is that that's one of the great things about manga that you can't do with comic books anymore. You can read one book and then just become obsessed and love it so much you want to see the actual show or anime, and then you can go to places like Netflix, we love Netflix, Hulu or Crunchyroll, and actually see the series. But you can't do that with comic books anymore because they have a whole different
Everything.
No, they have a whole different way of producing their work now, and you can't just pick up a comic and there's a correlating or corresponding show or movie. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
That's what's one of the great things about manga and anime.
Right.
There's usually a matchup, and you get to laugh not once but twice with two different versions.
And another thing about this is that not too many people know about this, like with Oron or Maid-sama or even Toradora. It's sort of like under the radar. There is a fan base for it, but it's not as huge as others. But the good thing is that it still gets attention anyway.
What makes this such a standout in terms of a rom-com are the characters. These are some of the craziest characters. It's like watching an anime of total drama. That's what it's like. Every single one of them is loony in some way. They're loony, but they're lovable.
Right. And this is also a parody of the shoujo genre. Nozaki writes shoujo manga for real. It's like it started as a hobby, and then he actually became a famous shoujo manga artist with a female pen name. So,
and he's still in high school.
Right.
And I think what's really funny is about it, when you see him, he's very tall. He's over 6 feet tall. He's traditionally handsome. He's intelligent. You think he knows about women because of the shoujo manga, but he doesn't.
Right.
And he is not the character. He's not the pretty boy, all the girls want him character. He is so blunt. He is so clueless. He is so dull, but he's really loyal and likable that the girls don't want him. The only one who wants him is Chiyo.
Right. And like they literally point that out as like, you're the only one interested in him at this point. And then it turns out that the manga he writes most of it is based off the people he knows at his school, because so many people are already so crazy they could have their own mangas.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, and the voices they pick for the anime are phenomenal. Like all of them really fit everybody. So aside from Nozaki and Sakura, who are the main ones,
you have supporting characters who really are main characters. I'm not saying supporting. It seems like everybody in here is really a main character.
Right.
It's written that well where you don't see the secondary. You see them all as MCs. So
right.
we're just going to call them all MC.
Right.
So one of his friends is Wakamatsu. Wakamatsu.
Yes.
Who falls for Sayo, who's a girl who really is blunt, and she has no chill. She doesn't know how to tell you things in a way that is favorable. She just bluntly tells you everything.
Right, and doesn't know it comes off as mean-spirited.
And most people think she's mean-spirited, but she really doesn't know. And she's not the girl that most of the guys want. She's pretty, but because of how she behaves, they're not. But she sings like an angel. So, unknown to Wakamatsu, the voice he's fallen in love with belongs to this girl.
Right, that he thinks is crazy. And the thing is, they even put on an episode where he tries to confront her. He's like, I don't know why you always pick on me. You throw the ball at me all the time, and then you only mess with me, and then you make me walk home with you, and then you take me out to eat, and then you buy me souvenirs and stuff. And Nozaki said, wait, doesn't it mean she likes you?
And she does. And he ends up liking her too, still not knowing that she is, what is it, Lorelai?
Lorelai, yeah.
The code name.
Yes.
That she's Lorelai.
Right.
The golden boy.
Right. And then you have Miko Shiba, who, I kept calling him red hair because I couldn't remember his name for a while.
Wakamatsu is also tall. Because
right.
There's a reason we're pointing these things out.
Right. And Miko Shiba believes he's a ladies' man, but he gets to talking and he'll start off really smooth, and then he gets to the end of a sentence like, what on earth did you just say? And then he goes embarrassed and leaves.
Now he has red hair, not orange red hair like humans, but literally red colored hair.
Right.
And yeah, he's a pretty boy, he's tall, and all the girls want him. But as you mentioned, he says these things that are just like absurd.
Right, what?
And the girls love it, and then he runs in the corner like Tamaki and gets down and hides in a fetal position. Like, what did I just say? Why did I say that? It's like, dude, you can have all the girls you want, but because you're so loony in the head, you can't even date anybody. And he knows something's wrong with him. He's like, I need help. It's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, more than you know.
The girls chase him and run after him, and when they see him, they're like, oh, Gil.
Right.
And yeah, he's Wakamatsu's got issues.
Right, okay. And then two others they have in the cast. You have Hori, who's supposed to be in charge of the theater club, or they call it the drama club, and then a theater club, like, which is it? And he usually is the one in charge of it and helps write the plays and directs everybody.
And he's the shortest of the guys right now at 5'4.5". He's very serious. He's very professional. He's great at what he does.
Right.
And he is the one who chooses the cast for all the plays.
Right.
So in walks Kashima.
Yes, Kashima, who they dub as the prince because her hair and her, up to like the head to the torso down, she dresses like a boy, but then she has a skirt on, so people don't pay attention. They think she's a boy until like, oh wait, you're a girl.
And the thing is, she's got a haircut, a real cute boy haircut.
Yeah. And she's actually
very pretty.
Yeah, she actually does look like a boy.
But she's slim. She has a slim build. She's athletic looking. She's athletic where she beats all the boys in the school in every sport there is. She's tall, good looking.
Yes.
The girls love for her to talk to them. She has a higher pitched girly voice.
Right.
But when she talks to them, she and Mika-san compete for the girls' attention. She does all this sexy stuff to them, and they chase her around and go, Kashima! And the guys are like, okay, if you want to get into the girls, you gotta have Kashima with you. And it's like, what the heck?
And then, so that's pretty much the whole cast.
Now, the reason we wanted to point out to you Hori's height is because out of all the boys in the school, they're all tall except for Hori. But Kashima fell in love with Hori.
Oh, gosh!
4.5 guy. And we forgot to mention, Kashima is 5'9".
Right.
So she's tall.
Right.
And she falls for Hori of all the people there.
So apparently because she saw him acting before she even went to the school, and that's why she wanted to go.
And their relationship is nothing short of hilarious. And you absolutely adore them, and they're not even the main ship. Chiyo and Nozaki Kun are the main ship, but you push them to the side for Hori and Kashima. You can't help but love them and adore them.
Yes, it's so much. It's like they're like practically the best part of the manga. Nothing's wrong with Nozaki and Sakura. They are hilarious too. But Hori and Kashima are so crazy and lovable that even during the poll, they outranked the main ship. Yes. And it gets to a point where the author's like, okay, and just starts writing them more than the main people in the manga.
Now, Hori likes her, but is too dumb to know he likes her. All the guys here are clueless. And when she does crap, like when the girls like her, he gets upset. He gets jealous, and he kicks her, and she goes flying like a cow over the moon whenever he kicks her. And he usually kicks her in the butt, so you know. And then, for some reason, because she loves him so much, she's like, oh, but he only kicks me. It's like, girl.
It's like, yeah. And she did all these things. She wants his attention and everything. She wants to be his favorite. Then it gets to a point for Valentine's Day where they thought she was going to ask out a girl or something. And
before we get to that, we got to share with you
that
she is just as clueless as he is.
Yes.
She acts like the guy in a relationship. Again, the girls love her, and she always looks at Hori and thinks Hori wants to dress as a princess.
Because of manga.
Right, and she's telling him, he says these things to her because he's thinking, maybe if you do this, you can be more girly. There's nothing wrong with her. But he always casts her as a prince because she's better than everyone else. So she even gets cast as a princess one time. So whenever he tells her these things about clothes and dresses and shoes and stuff, she goes, oh, Hori wants to dress like a girl. Hori wants to be pretty. And she brings him shoes and outfits and skirts, and then he kicks her because he's like, what are you doing? Why do you think I want this? And then she wants to be his prince. Yes, you heard right.
Yes,
she wants to be his prince, and she always picks him up because she thinks he's so little and cute, and he kicks her. And it's just hilarious because she adores him. And then there's this one scene that you're about to tell him now about the candy for Valentine's Day.
There's this one part is one of the most memorable parts of the show is that, Sakura wants to give chocolates to Nozaki. She's having her fridge for like a year. It's like, probably not good now, but okay. And they ask like Kashima, like, oh, you're going to give some to the girls. But they make it clear there's nothing of interest like that for her. It's just for fun. The girls all are asking guys or giving guys chocolate. And they're saying, oh, so you're going to give the girls chocolate? Well, yeah, she gave them like a few things, but she really made chocolate for Hori. It's like, oh, he doesn't like homemade chocolates. So she went to the store, bought chocolate, then she went and copied the recipe and made the chocolate, made exactly the store-bought chocolate, then gave him the gave him the chocolate she made and tricked him, and she was just happy about that. And then Sakura says, Kashima, I can't tell if you like him or hate him at this point.
And then it's my most favorite line of the entire anime. She says, but I love him. Like, what? Everyone's just stunned because again, the height difference, and his intensity and her lovableness. She's really quirky and she's always smiling. And she's always upbeat. She's adorable, but she loves Hori. It's like, what?
Yes, and it gets to a point where characters later in the manga are like, when they thought she liked Mikoshima because they're so alike, they're like, oh, okay, she likes him. And they're telling, no, she likes Hori, and they're just looking like, but why? He's not. It's like, but he's short. He's this and that, and it gets to a point like, okay, Kashima thinks he's a stud all the time, so it doesn't matter
no matter
what you think.
Hori is number one. Who's the coolest? Hori. And he kicks really good.
Right.
And who's this Hori? And who's the best Hori? And who's
okay,
this Hori?
we get it.
It's like everything is Hori. And what's hilarious is for Miko-san, Miko-ren, he and she grew up together, so they're literally best friends.
Right.
And they compete for the girl's attention. That's the type of relationship they
Right.
have. There's nothing between them at all remotely romantic. Nothing.
Right.
So why they think that she would like him or he would like her is hilarious because they have nothing for each other.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. They're just friends from little kids.
Right.
Like, I won't say that because people go, they're not friends, but they were children from childhood.
Right. So then, outside the school, you end up having people on the manga publishing team. Like he has Nozaki is superior. They always call her his editor that he really looks up to. Yeah. And they got his crew and stuff. As you have as like a side story, and that crew and the people he works with when they talk about the manga, like, yo, can we need this for a new seasonal topic? Can you write a side story? Can you make this more clear? Can you edit this out and so forth? And it's actually pretty fun that you're seeing how the manga process goes because it's sort of like seeing to the writer's own experiences with this. So they play it really realistically, but they get to a point where like the joke at the end is always like, how would you get from point A to point B with everybody?
And it's really interesting in the manga itself because they touch on it in the anime, but not as much as in the manga, where they explain about how they do backgrounds and choosing characters and different things. So it's really not only fun to read, but it's informative and teach you more about the medium that we really love.
Right.
And it's a brilliant way that they do it.
And the tropes and all that.
Right. And everything that he writes, Suzuki is his main character, the guy. And then Mori, what's her name? The girl.
Mori?
matter what, he wants Suzuki to be the man. No matter what. And he has Suzuki just acting crazy in these mangas. And no matter what he does, she pretty much either loves him or she wants to kick him like Pori kicks but not in a good way.
Right.
And it's just one of the most delightful animes you could ever watch. I wish it were more than 12 episodes.
Yes, because it cuts it off after volume 4.
Right.
It makes up its own ending, and they're trying to leave it open to if they ever get renewed for season 2, which they might, because Tiger and Bunny is coming back with Netflix. So there's always a chance for Nozaki to come back through them, as long as they don't alter the story.
Well, just ask for good luck mode, and maybe they'll give it.
Right. And then, one last thing I need to bring about the manga is that, like we said, everybody that he knows and does is inspiration for manga, and it gets to a point where it's like getting ridiculous. There's even a point where Kashima reads the manga and she doesn't get why they like the Shojo manga. The Let's Fall in Love one is the name of one he does. She doesn't know that all these people are writing on, they're right next to her. So she said, okay, so I'm supposed to like this main girl because she likes Suzuki. He said, yeah, that's right. And we're supposed to root for her and want to be with Suzuki because he's good looking, he's talented, he's great at sports, and he gets good grades. Yeah, now you got it, because she really didn't understand. Then she said, but then why doesn't Hori like me? I was like, you're not the president.
What's wrong with you? It's so hilarious. But if you have seen or read Nozaki Kun, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, it's available on exclusively on Netflix.
Yes.
And you're going to absolutely adore it. And
There's
love
so
it.
much.
And you're going to come back and thank us. Go, thank you very much. Thank you very
Konnichiwa.
much. Arigato. And thank you for telling us, because you're really going to love this. I'm
Right.
telling you.
Because there's
And
so
even-
much in there, right?
And no matter what type of anime you normally watch, even if it's a different genre, if you like more action or mecha or whatever, we're telling you, even if you're not one who likes rom-com or shoujo, you're going to love this one, because it's a rom-com, but it's not a rom-com.
Yeah, it's a parody
And
of
you're
it.
gonna love it. So give it a try and let us know what you think in the comments.
And hopefully we do get a season 2, because the only thing we got right now is a live action adaptation from China, and we are actually curious to see how that one turns out. So be sure to like, subscribe, and notification bell to update some future podcasts and other pause videos.
Absolutely.
So, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.